Okay, we have another school mass shooting that hit the headlines this past week. And this one here is not going to be good for gun owners, politically. All right. Now, when we look at mass shootings and the reasons behind them, several of them, Aurora with the movie theater, Sandy Hook. These people were obviously mentally ill. Okay. Now the one in Vegas with that guy, again, somebody who had a substantial, life or something triggered him to do that. But then again, we also have another category, which would be school and workplace mass shootings. I strongly believe the mechanism behind that is where people are just persecuted, outcast, and the mentality of the group to always look down upon this person, and you call it bullying or whatever. And this goes on both in schools and in workplaces. I've had to deal with it, okay, in several places that I worked. The last place I worked was bad. And what happens is you just push a person till they snap. Okay, some people are not mentally strong enough to deal with this, and especially with adolescence, very volatile time in everyone's life, and the workplace where someone's struggling to survive, and every day you go into work, somebody's there to make your life miserable and just torment the hell out of you. And the fact is, if you quit, you will probably lose, you could lose your home, where you live, your car. So when you put people into these circumstances and screw with them to the point unmercifully, okay, you're going to see this no matter what. Be it a gun or a damn fire axe he grabs off the wall and starts chopping up all his co-workers or whatever. This happens. We've had an incident here, it was a few months ago in one of the schools locally, where somebody went and shot a couple students. One student fired upon others. So that's the mechanism behind it. How do you stop it? Is you have to get people to change the way they interact with other people, which probably ain't going to happen. Because we live in a society of people who are very self-centered and have no respect or concern for other individuals' feelings or anything. And this is what creates this situation again and again. Now with the holiday season, drive across town, go into a parking lot at a local large store. Okay, you see people do not care. Okay, you take your life in your hands. When you're on the road, people do not care. They do not think. They just cut across lanes and do some very dangerous things. Okay, why we have all these pretty nasty accidents. We've had several of them recently, locally where I am. It's all the same thing. Now, where this scenario, which got considerably interesting, I was watching news clips for the past hour to get caught up to speed on this. There's a lot of things that's gone down in this case that are not going to be good for gun owners. Okay, first of all, parents are involved. Kid did the shooting. And again, not to make light of it, it's a terrible thing. Those 4 people shouldn't have died. There was no reason for them to die. Okay. So I guess the way the story goes, this individual that they have in custody supposedly said some things or did some things in the school. They called his parents. They told his parents that he should be sent for some sort of counseling and take him out of school immediately, which they did not. They left, and then that's where he come out with a pistol, walked out of a restroom, and shot a whole bunch of people, in which 4 people are dead and a few others are very, very seriously injured and in critical condition. So, and the bizarre thing is, the minute the police responded, he just stood there with his hands up and a gun. Okay? So now we go on to the manhunt for the parents. I was at the club and I'm looking on the news. They had the news run on one of the TVs because I heard about this, and I heard they arraigned the boy and they were going to charge him as an adult and this and that. And he is in custody. Okay, he's behind bars. Well, now manhunt for the parents. So I was busy talking to my friends when I come in today, and I looked at all of this. And this is bad. You know, when people ask me, why'd you stop making your political videos and that, there's a time you keep your mouth shut, and there's a time to speak. And from what I've heard or seen, these people, it's going to be a 3-ring circus, and it's not going to make people pro-gun look good. Supposedly, all this stuff they're digging up around this incident starts with the parents. The mother wrote some kind of letter to President Trump about gun control and all this other stuff. Somebody got a copy of this letter. So right now this letter is made public, shows that the mother is, you know, they bring in President Trump, they bring in the gun control and all this other stuff, and all these things are there. Now, the father was the one that purchased a pistol on Black Friday. Okay? So the father purchases the gun. Now, we all know when you buy any firearm, the first question they ask you at the top, are you the purchaser, you know, is this gun being purchased for yourself? In other words, it is against the law for me to go get a background check and buy a firearm to just walk over and hand it a straw buy. Okay, you can't do that. Supposedly the father buys the gun, then same day the kid posts something, again, social media, this is your undoing, where he's holding a gun, my new piece or whatever, and then the next day the mother posts on social media a picture of the gun in a case of magazines. It's Mother and Son Day, we're going to go out and shoot my son's Christmas present. Which right there, you open the door for, there's federal laws being violated. And what's kind of unusual in this case is the parents are being held responsible for it, or being charged with involuntary manslaughter, 4 counts. So, they got this evidence. So then they call them in for a hearing. They're going to be charged. Okay? An arraignment. They don't show. And they disappear. Then they look, and they withdrew $4,000 from their bank in cash, and no one knows where they are. And then I watched one news report where their lawyer's saying, well, they're not running. They just are late for their appointment or something. You know, they are not fugitives. They are not running from the law and everything. Well, when you take a bunch of money out of the bank, jump in your car and drive to another part of the state, or that is fleeing. Okay, especially when you have a court arraignment on charges of murder. Okay, it don't look good. Now I'm seeing the prosecution, the district attorney, this woman, Christmas has come early for her. This is a gigantic politically motivated circus sideshow that's going to elevate her in her position, because the way it looks, these people ain't got no way out of this. I mean, it's blatantly obvious. Their statements, what they posted online, the fact that they admit they bought a firearm to give it to a minor as a present. And then, all the evidence, it's not good. It makes people who are pro-gun look bad. The fact they're bringing in the fact that these people would write letters to President Trump praising him for his decisions brings the whole political mess of Trump and all this pro-gun people into it. And, and again, at Christmas time, then the horror and tragedy again. Nobody likes a school shooting, okay? This is probably one of the worst crimes you could commit, other than, something like an act of terrorism of bombing the Boston Marathon or something. That's more of a mass attack. But it's not good all the way around. And they're turning it into a media circus, and these people really, really look bad. What they've said, their actions are not good at all, and it puts all pro-gun people and firearms owners in a very bad light. Okay? It's ridiculousness. But, I'm just stating my thoughts on it, And just when things, maybe you're getting stable and calming down, this has happened. And another thing my wife mentioned is whenever there's some sort of difficult political situation or trying to pass a bill, the government's going to run out of money again, and they're fighting about passing bills basically around finance, all of a sudden there's a shooting, mass shooting, and it's in the news and everything else. It kind of coincides. It's like my wife said, there wasn't a single mention of mass shooting or nothing, and now with the holidays coming, we have this shooting, all these problems. They're talking about war breaking out between Russia to Ukraine. There's problems in former Yugoslavia. There's problems with China and the Philippines. It's like the whole country or the whole world is being inundated in these little tiny wars that it's kind of like a global war. And all of this right around Christmas to just ratchet up the emotions and drive you nuts. Okay, more stress. And let's not forget the new strain, the micro whatever the hell virus that's coming up. So we all have to be revaccinated and examined and shut down all national borders and everything because of the new crisis that has conveniently just kind of popped up right now. So that's my take on it, guys. And one thing I can say is be careful what you post and what you put out there on social media. Okay? And we'll see how all of this turns out. It's a mess. And like I said, it's really a black eye for all gun owners, this whole situation. Not good at all. All right, fellas. Stay tuned.